a quiet kitchen before sunrise, Warren Buffett's name on an old paperback beside your coffee. Repeat one small move 26 times a year, and it can add up to 6 figures by middle age. The move is simple, almost invisible. But which move actually changes your future? Here's a quick proof before we start. Trim a 1% fee on $10,000, and you keep $100 this year. Repeat across decades, and you've saved thousands without working an extra hour. If a tiny leak can drown a budget, what could many tiny fixes do for yours? This is Wealth Mentor Pro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. Tonight isn't about hype. It's about choices so quiet they don't need applause. We're putting one idea under the light: how to get rich quietly, even on a low salary, inspired by Warren Buffett. If that sounds unrealistic, stay with me, because the view looks different when you step closer. Think of money like navigation. You don't need a faster boat, you need a reliable compass. The compass is your savings rate, set before the weather turns. Say you take home $2,800 a month. You route $140, 5%, out of checking on payday into a separate account that you never open for spending. That transfer fires whether you feel strong or tired. Do one thing after this video. Set a recurring transfer for the morning after each paycheck, even if it's only $5 a day. Ignore it, and the market's best days could pass while your dollars sit idle on the dock. Here's what most people don't realize yet. 2 numbers decide most long-term outcomes: your savings rate and your years invested. Which raises a harder question. What if your budget already gasps for air? Picture a road with toll booths. Fees and high-interest debt are tolls that never sleep. If a credit card charges 20% APR, every $1,000 you carry can cost about $200 in a year. That's not mood, it's math. Start with one call this week to your phone, internet, or insurance provider and ask for a lower plan or retention offer. If you shave $20 a month, you just found $240 a year you can redirect. Line up your debts by interest rate and hit the highest first while paying minimums on the rest. Avalanche means pay highest interest first. The price of skipping this step is brutal, a guaranteed negative return, which too many people accept by default. We've named the tolls. Now the next turn: if you've cut costs and still feel stuck, where does the extra fuel come from? Navigation isn't only charts, it's route choice. Adjust speed before you change destination. Add one small income lane that uses skills you already have. Offer simple spreadsheet cleanup for a local shop, shoot product photos with your phone for a cafe, or translate menus for a family restaurant. Charge $50 a session 4 times a month. That's $200 a month, $2,400 a year before any raise. Split it, half to high-interest debt until it's gone, half to savings or investments you already use. Give yourself 2 hours this weekend to write a bare-bones offer and message 3 people by name who could use it. Wait for a perfect idea and you freeze your map in place. Here's the uncomfortable thought that sneaks in right here. What if the quiet path is too slow while social feeds scream that you're already behind? Here's the twist most people miss. Wealth is a behavior long before it's a bank balance. The loud path is spectacle, the quiet path is systems. And the claim at the heart of this episode still stands: how to get rich quietly, even on a low salary, inspired by Warren Buffett. Buffett's lesson isn't secret stocks. It's a habit of decisions that compound because you don't interrupt them. Tell me in the comments which small habit you'll automate first. Your idea could be the spark someone needs tonight. Rule 1: make your savings rate a rising autopilot. It matters because momentum beats mood, and decisions made once don't drain your willpower every month. Start at 5% this month and add 1% every 3 months until you reach 20% or until your numbers feel steady without stress. If your take-home is $3,000, a 1% bump is $30. That's one dinner out you space out, not a life overhaul. Set the bumps on your calendar to trigger the day after payday so the increase happens before you can grab it. Rename your accounts to match your goals: emergency, freedom, learning, so every transfer feels like a choice, not a loss. If 20% sounds distant, hit 6% by month 3 and 10% by month 9. Small targets stack faster than you think when they're automated. Rule 2, slash guaranteed losses before chasing uncertain gains. It matters because every dollar not lost is a dollar you don't have to replace with risk. If a card charges 24% APR, an extra $1,000 you throw at it is like avoiding roughly $240 in yearly interest. That's the kind of return you can count on. Move a $2,000 balance to a 0% promotional card for 12 months with a $60 transfer fee, then set a $170 monthly auto payment to wipe it before the promo ends. You traded chaos for a plan. In parallel, look at any investment account you already use and ask one question: how can I pay less for the same exposure? An index fund is a basket of many companies you buy all at once, often with fees under 0.1%. The difference between a 1% fee and 0.1% on $50,000 is about $450 this year. That could be groceries, a class, or an extra debt payment. Learn the expense ratio, think annual price tag, and aim lower when you can. Rule 3, protect your attention with a simple routine. It matters because attention is the gatekeeper of impulse, and impulse is expensive. Create a 48-hour pause for any non-essential purchase over $50. If you still want it after 2 sleeps, buy it joyfully. Build a $1,000 starter buffer in a separate account labeled No Drama, then grow it toward 3 months of expenses over time. This is your emergency fund, the shock absorber that keeps you from using costly debt for ordinary surprises. Give your money a standing 15-minute check-in on the first Sunday of every month. Scan for a subscription to cancel, increase your savings rate by 1% if the numbers allow, and plan your next side income session. Turn off shopping app notifications for a week and notice the difference. Many people keep an extra $75 without feeling deprived. Fewer pings, fewer detours. Let's bring this back to the journey you began in the first minute. The compass, your rising savings rate, points you north without fuss. The route, cutting guaranteed losses, removes tolls and frees speed. The attention routine keeps you off costly detours, so you arrive with fuel left. Numbers make it real. $5 a day is $150 a month. Over a year, that's $1,800. Add a $240 annual bill reduction and a $200 monthly side stream, and you've created $4,440 of space without a new job title or a viral moment. Redirect that quietly, month after month, and the results look like discipline, not drama. Remember the opening question, the one habit repeated 26 times a year that can snowball into 6 figures? Here's the overlooked ritual. On the morning after every paycheck, increase your automatic transfer by $1 compared to the last paycheck. Just $1. If it's $140 this cycle, make it $141 next time, $142 after that. By year's end, you've raised the bar by $26 per paycheck without a single hard conversation with yourself. When you get a raise, skim 50% straight into the same transfer before lifestyle creep notices. Quiet, private, consistent. You won't see this shouted in highlight reels because it isn't loud. Yet these small, repeatable choices bend the next decade in your favor. Your salary matters, yes, but your system matters more. Protect your attention. cut the tolls, increase the transfer, let time do what time does while you get on with your life. If you want a simple next step, I'm sketching a one-page money map you can complete in 15 minutes. 4 boxes that show where each dollar goes and why future you will breathe easier when bills hit on the same day. It's designed to sit on your fridge or your phone and take the friction out of the next month. Subscribe for more like this and watch the video we've queued up next.